Chattanooga Public Library. We're spending our whole Halloween week here right?
We are trying to push things as far as we can push it.
That's
so
good, Barry.
Probably looks a little bit different today, I hope, than the other day.
Yes,
The other day looked a little bit different than last week.
It was so fun. If you haven't watched, we had a lot of musicians in here who are going to be performing this Saturday something Wicked on Station Street. Yeah, so if you go back on the page, you should find it. It was really, really, really cool. We really pushed it that day, too.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit more in a bit, but the whole reason for being here at the studio in the library is to show off what's in here, and I think we did that then, and we're going to do it again today with local rapper Ron Moore. Hey, Ron.
How you doing?
Hi, Ron.
Good to see you. Got his producer, Ralph Chisholm. A lot of folks who will know Ralph. Been around here for a long time, right?
That's right. I go by Ralph James, though, this time. It kind of makes things a little bit simpler. There are so many of my siblings, and we're all doing something different. So.
Gotcha.
How many siblings do you have?
Oh, man.
Do you lose count?
There's originally 9 of us. There are 7 left, and we're all songwriters, keyboardists in our own right, and we just all do our thing.
Cool.
I like your style.
Yeah, and Ron goes by Railroad.
Yes, sir. Railroad.
All right, so
what?
Railroad.
Sorry, allergies. Railroad.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you ever go off the tracks or?
It's hard to stop a train. So.
Okay. We should start using that.
I feel like we've been on that train.
We are. Yeah.
All right, so you're going to do a couple of rap songs that you've been working on for us,
yes, sir.
And then we're going to talk about your story. You've got kind of an interesting story. I see you looking over your shoulder at your son, Rashawn. He's one of the guys that helps in here. So
he's a huge help here.
Yeah. It's all right. Let's do something.
All right. Where do you put these on, Barry?
Yep.
It's your homie Railroad. Music Wednesdays, live Facebook, 2017. Got a hole in my soul, and I can't let go. I'll be whole again. Lost a life before it really begun. Only 19 years on this earth wasn't long. Grab the bull by the horns, take life by the throat. See, my life ain't been the same since I lost my kinfolk. Used to get me out the bed and take me into the kitchen. Let me sample all the food while the breakfast was cooking. Sit me on the table. She started doing the dishes. 20 years done passed. But it might be different if you was never. I don't know the circumstance, so I don't open my. With a life full of pain, but only one reached out. Aunt Jean was the saint, took you into her house. Shouldn't burn bridges, but my bridges washed out. Took a life of 3 kids for me to figure this out, no doubt without God. Keep my head up to the sky, cause he controls how I'm living. In my soul, let go. How I feel at the gate when I see your face, I'll be whole again. Brand new to 2201 is when my pops died. I ain't tripping though, but it's killing me on the. Everybody say it gets better in the. I ain't even get to meet the man, so why should people say he was a good man? Why lie? How did he forget about his first child? The firstborn on the heir to the throne. Got kids of my own, now I'm grown and you're gone. I know they say that Papa was a rolling stone, but tell me why he have to roll up out of my home. A quarter century of pain is all I own. Congratulations, Pop. Second verse for the song. Got a hole in my soul, I can't let go. I know that I will get to say how I feel on that day at the gate. When I see your face, only time can reveal what time can't replace. Got a hole in my soul, and I can't let go. How I feel on that day at the gate. When I see your face, I'll be whole again. No need for me to lie. When you died, I cried, homie. Don't know the situation, all I know you went before me. The things you showed me and you sold me, won't forget it, man. Thought we would live forever, God had a change of plans. No more slapping hands, no more balling then. Knew we was on the wrong path, but we took the chance. Now I'm a changed man. Tell me why you had to take you. See you at the gates. R.I.P. Carlos Baker.
Life is a mystery, and I'm trying to figure it out.
Figure it out, yeah.
I lost someone close to me. Now I have to do without.
I have to do without, yeah.
Got a hole in my soul, and this pain, it seems I can't let go.
I can't let go.
People tell me to be strong, but it hurts so deep, and y'all don't know.
Y'all don't know. I'm tired of this misery.
My past keeps haunting me.
Haunting me.
I gotta stay focused and keep my eyes on what's in front of me.
Okay.
Get ahead in this game of life.
Life.
My head up to the sky.
Sky.
Made the sacrifice.
Now it's time for me
to get it right. I got a
hole in my soul.
I can't let go.
Let go.
But I know that I will get the chance to say how I feel
On that day at the gate. When I see your face, I'll be whole again.
I'll be whole again. I
Got a hole in my soul.
I can't
Let go.
But I know that I will get the chance to say how I feel. That day
At the gate, when I see your face, I'll be whole again.
I'll be whole again. I
Got a hole in my soul.
I can't
Let go.
But I know that I will get the chance to say how I feel. That day at the gate.
Ringo, Georgia, 2011. Chattanooga Strong.
I'll be whole again. I got a hole in my soul.
Dallas,
I can't let go. I got a hole
West Coast Fires, Kansas City, Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin, Freddie Gray, Mike Brown, Philando Castile, Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice. Hole in my soul.
Wow.
You got a hole in your soul, baby.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I can tell.
Wow.
It was really good.
Thank you.
Really good. A lot of people are listening too.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
You told me a little bit of your story the other day when we talked, but that song kind of is it, isn't it?
Yes,
It's
that's my story.
take us back, right? It's been a big transition for you, right?
Yes. I haven't always been who I am. You know, I started off young, you know, hardhead, knucklehead, you know, but having my children made me grow up and be a man. So here I am.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, what, are you from here?
I'm originally from Ringo, where the tornado hit in 2011.
I remember.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
Were you there for that?
My family lost their houses, and you know, it was
Awful.
very bad down there.
Awful.
Yeah.
Who's the female voice on the track?
That's actually my girlfriend. She's not here. Hey, Keita, I hope you watch.
You better give her some props and love. I want to ask Ralph. One of the reasons we wanted to do it in here was to show off this studio, but also I'm interested in the whole producing kind of part of it. What goes into putting together any track, but particularly say a rap track with?
Well, it's all music, and
make sure you're into that.
And it's all music, and everybody's telling a story, whether they're rapping, singing, or even instrumentalists. They're telling a story. Shay and Railroad, I've been knowing him for quite some time. He said this is the after things. I knew him before the things, and he was with a group called Pimp Tight.
Pimp Tight?
Pimp Tight, that's right.
Serious.
Oh man, and they were young and they were wild.
Yes,
and we would actually
Sounds fun.
We would actually fight. Oh, it was fun. It was the most frustrating fun you can deal with, because all of them had their own ideas. All of them were headstrong, and they were hard to tame.
Man.
And Railroad in particular, he knew he had a really good, nice sound, and he was struggling to, I think, to find what he wanted to say. He wasn't necessarily feeling what the group was saying, so he was always a pushback sometime, giving everybody a lot of flack. But it was probably a really, really fun time. This was probably 15, 20 years ago. It was a really fun time for them and fun time for myself. But basically, as a producer, my job, I always say, look at it this way. My job is to make your idea come to life. So I will always have, in this case, a rapper. I would say, well, give me your hook. Let me feel where you're coming from. And then I would ask questions like, number one, who do you idolize? Who are the stars that you identify with? What their sound? So it's a matter of taking what they've built, because every artist builds their style off something else. There's nothing new up under the sun. So whether you're doing country or something, there's somebody who inspired you along the way, and you're going to have some of those elements in your way of writing, in your way of singing, or in your way of rapping. Right. So they would let me listen to half the stuff that I would never listen to myself, but they would give me the stuff, and I would just marinate on it, marinate, and then I'll take their idea, and it's about finding that groove that locks that idea down, and then we'll sometimes there's a compromise in the direction and what they're trying to do and how to express it. And other times, like in this case, he's been in the studio with me so many times. They did a full album back in 2000 as a group. So when he came back around this time and then shared some things that he's been feeling in his heart, we were probably in a good spot at the same time, because I had been through a lot. So we both came at this with a little passion and compassion and focus, listening to what he was saying and making sure everything really kind of brought that emotion out, brought that feeling out. So when the next time someone's hearing it, they're just not hearing a good beat and he's saying something. It's like there's a story here.
Right.
Real life.
Do you have to have a studio like this to make this kind of any music? But
it doesn't take a big studio. It takes a workstation to make music.
Yeah.
But if you want to put something out there that's going to sound, that's going to be pleasing to the ear, it's not always easy just using stuff from Best Buy.
You still gotta know how to use it.
Yeah. Having the right equipment is everything. Having the right microphones is everything. And the right microphone for my vocals may not be the right microphone for his vocals. So having a variety of mics and a variety of plug-ins to kind of bring out the sound, to elevate the sound.
It's complicated. We know.
Yeah. We're learning every week.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think this will be done? You're working on a new one, right? A whole album.
Yeah, I'm not sure when we'll be done. I know this is going to be my first single, Hole in My Soul. This song I wrote years ago. The first verse, as you heard, is about my cousin that got killed back in 1987 down in Ringo, Georgia, Kim Croft. Love you, Kim. The second verse is about my dad. I grew up without a dad, and that's why I strive to do what I can for my children, make them understand that I'm here for them.
Yeah.
And the third verse is about my friend that got killed. So it's really a hole in my soul. We're missing a part of ourselves when we lose somebody.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately, it sounds like the song is to be continued.
Yes, it will be continued.
Not, but okay. Well, we always like to hear music more than too much talking, especially us talking. So you ready to do another one?
Let's do it.
Put our headphones back on. This is so fun.
Enter ye at the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the that lead to destruction. And there are many people that go in through it. For narrow is the gate and small is the path that leads to life. And there are many that go through it. To be outside of the body is to be present with Christ. I don't want no one to cry for me. I just want y'all to be happy for me. I don't want no one to cry for me. I just want y'all to be happy for me. November the 17th, 1977, God broke the mold, sent my soul straight from heaven. It's hard to picture mind, soul, body, and spirit. God gave me the breath to protest and write these lyrics. I'm dying to present it, so y'all should be dying to hear it. My soul is weary, struggling, striving, trying to keep living. Gotta do what's right, but the drama can cut with a knife. Take it step by step and day by day I take it to Christ. My life is hard, 3 boys, gotta take care of my kids, and I feel I'm being being punished for the dirt that I did. From splitting these wigs to hustling and serving them nicks. It's hard to quit, but I thank God that I did. When I die, I don't want no one to cry for me. I don't want no one to holler and scream. I just want y'all to be happy for me, because I'ma have peace as I'm walking with Jesus. I don't want no one to cry for me. I don't want no one to holler and scream. I just want y'all to be happy for me, because I'ma have peace as I'm walking. As I walk out the house and slowly gaze at the sky, I take a look at the stars and wonder which one is mine. Cause we all gotta die. This world is filled with pure evil. I just pray to the Lord to watch over my people. Somebody help me, God save me. My life's a dead end. Constantly fall to my knees to repent for my sins. Here's a message to my brothers that's stuck in the game. Overlook all of your problems cause you're living in vain. I have dreams of living big with no more stress. Since I was little, my friends been dying, man, I'm tired of this mess. No father figure to help me deal with the pain. Every night I pray to God that I can break these chains. It's a shame, all this pain, the kids crying to eat. I just beg God for forgiveness for what I've done in the streets. Every year it just repeats and it's constantly getting worse. I'm tired of all this drama, man, that's why I wrote this verse. When I die, I don't want no one to cry for me. I don't want no one to holler and scream. I just want y'all to be happy for me, because I'ma have peace as I'm walking with Jesus. I don't want no one to cry for me. I don't want no one to holler and scream. I just want y'all to be happy for me, because I'ma have peace as I'm walking with Jesus. I don't want no one to cry for me. I just want y'all to be happy for me. I don't want no one to cry for me. I don't want no one to holler and scream. I just want y'all to be happy for me, because I'ma have peace as I'm walking with Jesus. You know, we all gotta go. We're not gonna be here forever. This world is just a holding place for us. When that train comes, you better be ready. I'm ready, I don't know about you. To my loved ones that's gone, I love you. My grandmother, Carrie Croft, Kim, Trail, I love y'all.
That's some heavy stuff, man.
Really good.
Thank you.
Sounds like you have a lot of peace, though. It doesn't seem like you're angry anymore. Were you angry?
Yes, I was. But, you know, when you put God in your life, he changes everything for you. And, you know, at one point in time, I didn't have God in my life, and I was an angry young man. I went through a lot of struggle. But when I changed for the better, by putting Jesus and God in my life, it changes your whole perspective on everything. I mean, you know, you find peace with the things that you thought that you couldn't find peace with. You know, death is hard for anybody, but with God, you can get through anything.
What does having music and to be able to express these kind of things mean to you?
It means so much, because, you know, when you keep things bottled up inside, it makes you angry. And to be able to write and express myself through this music, I can't explain the joy that it gives me. You know, I can tell my kids how I feel without having to actually say it to them. They can hear it through my music, and, you know, they can tell that I'm happy.
Yeah. Who are some of your influences, like you were talking about? I guess they've changed since you were a kid.
Yeah, I do like Tupac.
Yeah.
Even though Tupac's gone, you know, I like
Where
Tupac.
Where is he?
But my main influence growing up was my grandmother. She passed back in 2013. She brought me up to go to church, and, you know, the Bible tells you, train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they get older, they won't depart from it. But it doesn't say that you won't lose your way along the way. But we always revert to where we started from, and that's what happened to me. You know, my grandmother passed away, and, you know, I thought I would be angry when she passed, but I was at peace because she was at peace. So, you know, here I am.
I want to ask Ralph another thing while we're sitting there, and then we're going to move the microphone around because we have a little bit of a surprise, I think. But
what? Oh.
these kids are having this. We keep calling them kids because we're old. These young teenagers are this opportunity.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I'm old. Have this opportunity to learn in this studio. You've done this for a long time. What would you tell them?
I would say it all isn't just about in here. It's about what's up here and what's in here. But it takes the knowledge. You can sit here and you can learn all the fancy way of pushing these buttons. But if you really apply yourself, and I will tell you 2 good resources. I would say Keyboard Magazine and Musician Magazine. Know them. Know what because they're going to talk about microphones in there. They're going to talk about the dynamics of synthesis. And we're in an age where everything's synthesized. Your vocals are synthesized now. So the more you know about these elements, the better you're going to be in here. One thing you'll find that you say this is kind of a small setup, but if you take this and you walk in with the same mentality into the enterprise, you should be even though there's going to be a much larger board, maybe from wall to wall, it's going to all be the same. So it may not look like you're getting everything, but it's all about how you apply it. It's all about how much more that you want to get other than looking at that screen and pushing those buttons. Get all of it. And here's another thing. My whole being a part of music started right here at this library. In fact, it started at the public library on Macaulay Avenue. I lived in Glenwood, and every morning, every Saturday, on weekends, I walked from Glenwood Drive to the library on Macaulay Avenue until this one was built, and then I would walk here, and you would find me here on Saturday mornings. And I'm more than likely, I've got 2 or 3 books open with a Keyboard Magazine over here on the side and a Life magazine over here on the other side. And all that comes in, because everything that you go through in life is going to come out whether you're writing, producing, or engineering. All of those elements it takes to make a hit. You can have a great song, great arrangement, poor mix, nothing. You can have a great arrangement, great mix, poor song. It takes all 3 of those elements. And it takes the knowledge of how to put all that together to make it work. So I would say keep doing it, but keep gaining the information. I mean, you've got these things. You can get Keyboard Magazine just like doop these days. So you really, but you have a source of resources in this library that's killer. That takes you back to because we're not really far into the recording age. I mean, we basically grew up in it. When I first started, everything was 2-track, 4-track. Now you can do as many tracks as your computer will allow you to do. So it's a grand time to be in this business, and to really embrace all these technologies. I always dreamed of one day being able to, because when I did my first song, I hired all these musicians, and we went down to Music Com, was located off Macaulay Avenue. We went down there to record. $500, $600 later, I was leaving the studios totally unhappy. Everybody wanted to do their thing. Nobody wanted to work together. And I envisioned the day, because I had been reading. I've been reading about CDs coming and digital music coming, and I was like, I can't wait. So when I first started hearing about it, I was running up to the sound post, and every piece of new equipment that came through, I was on it. Prince used to love the Oberheim, was his main drum machine. And when the sound post got an Oberheim, I got an Oberheim. Then there was the Roland R8 drum machine. When they came, and because it was all about beats and grooves, and then sounds, and you didn't have these push button keyboards like we do now. You had a lot of knobs to turn. If you didn't know what each one did, you could wind up with a bunch of noise, or you wind up frustrated and wanting to get your money back. Yeah. So there's a level of appreciation that I have from where it was to where it is. And if you look at listen to some of the greatest songs out there, they were not recorded in such an elaborate state as what we do now. So it took a lot more work. So you kind of develop an appreciation for those old head engineers and writers and producers and musicians for all their hard work.
Yeah, cool.
Very cool.
Thanks. Let's move that. Who's going to move the microphone?
What's going on?
Yeah, we have a surprise.
We a little surprise. It's going to be exciting. Don't everybody move at once.
Yeah.
Tell folks where they can hear you, see you, get your stuff. Go ahead.
Well, right now,
while you're doing that,
right now I don't have anything that's out yet. This is the first time anybody's ever heard my music besides friends and family.
Cool.
So you guys are putting it out there for me first.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hole in My Soul will be hitting iTunes soon.
Yes.
Hole in My Soul hitting iTunes soon.
Hole in
so
My Soul. Yes.
make note of that. It's a great title too.
Smile, Rashawn.
So this young man right
Rashawn.
here is my son, my oldest, Rashawn. So
I
he
don't
was at
believe
my
he's that
house
shy.
not too long ago, and I came up with this song called Heads Up, and I was just doing it in the kitchen, and I said, "Hey, you want to get on this song?" It's like, yeah, and I didn't take him serious. I really didn't, because I've never heard him rap or write anything.
I can write. He just didn't
He
know.
wrote this verse that touched me in such a way. I was just like, wow, it's better than my verse.
Wait. We have to tell. No.
Like, hold up,
We
I
have
don't
to
know
tell
if
the
I
story.
wanna-
We have to tell the story because remember, it was me, Kyron, and Isaiah.
Yeah, that's true.
We were sitting in the living room and we were listening to music. So we were thinking like, okay, how about we have this contest and let's see who, after an hour, who can write the best verse. So we got different songs or whatever, and we found different versions of them, and we started writing. My youngest brother, he didn't want to write. He was like, I don't know how to write. I'm so scared. I can't do it. So I was like, okay, whatever. So it was me and my brother. So then we, at the end, I had my verse and my other brother had his verse. My other brother, he didn't perform. So he didn't perform. So then Dad was like, that's a perfect verse for my song. And I was like, well,
It really is.
I wasn't really expecting to be on a song like that, but
Cool.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how he goes from shy to like 100
Right.
miles an hour.
Right.
I mean, it just happens like that sometimes.
Right,
When I get in the
it
zone, I'm
happens.
just in the zone.
Yeah.
Before we do this, I want to say I'm so proud of him. You know,
He's a great kid.
he really is. He's
I've-
very
I've
smart,
told you that.
very good kid. He's got his head on
Fine young
straight.
man. He's not a kid. He's 18.
Yeah, he's 18.
He's
Yeah,
part
not
of the
a kid.
crew here. We know he said it, but he's part of the crew at the
He
public
reminds us
library
all the
here.
time he's 18. So.
Right. Yes. We've heard.
All right, I'm
Yes.
excited.
So this song is called Heads Up. We're going to do it a cappella because it doesn't even have a beat to it. We just made it up. People keep asking me how I walk with my head up. They don't understand God is who I go to when I'm fed up. See my praises up to the sky, find out what it truly means. Holding my head up high while I'm walking these city streets. God keep on blessing me. The devil keep testing me. He want me back in the streets. God showed me my destiny. He told me that I would live if I put my trust in him. Give it all up in the foundation that he would build. He helped me develop skills as I struggled through the pain. Gave me my light in darkness and sheltered me from the rain. His pain is our gain for me and my brothers who put God in front and left the devil behind you. The Lord is my light of salvation. Whom shall I fear? I got to keep living. When it's too hard for me to down on my knees, I got to keep kneeling.
It's all good.
People keep asking me how I walk with my head up. They don't understand God is who I go to when I'm fed up. Keep my praises up to the sky. Find out who it truly means. Holding my head up high while I'm walking these city streets.
Are you ready? Every day the sun goes down when I think about this life. I think I used to have it rough and then my thoughts come back to light at the end of time. I got my family with me. I got my mom, my dad, my bros and sisters standing with me through all the tears and fighting, all the going at it. It built me stronger to see that life is short and gotta pass it. We are like one branch. We grow in different routes, yet our roots remain just one and we just hug it out. Ain't no time for no fuss, ain't no time for no fighting, just gotta live through the conflict that is blinding. It ain't alright, but we gotta stay bright, just praying and praying to God the Almighty. I know that he loves us, I know that he cares, he's always there for me when nobody's fair. The life I've been given, already declared, nobody could stop me, the tiger, the bear. When you know you're trying to do right, that's when all the pigeons take flight. But like King Zeus, I'ma strike, bout I'm King Sean, that's right.
People keep asking me how I walk with my head up. They don't understand God is who I go to when I'm fed up. See my praises up to the sky, find out what it truly means. Holding my head up high while I'm walking these city streets. I love you, man.
That was awesome.
Good job. Good job.
That was
That's
great.
our finished track. We just wanted to do that because
That's
you're
it.
right. Sometimes he is so shy, but he has this light in him that he won't bring out sometimes. You have to kind of push him a little bit.
I wasn't ready to do that,
Yeah.
but it just
All
happened.
right.
That was really, really
It
good.
was really well written, Rashawn.
That was great.
Thank
you are
you.
18.
Perfect for the song, too.
Yes,
You're
it
right.
is. It is.
That's cool.
So y'all have to
I
invite me
told
back.
you. I told you. I told you I had bars. You just didn't know. So.
Cute.
All right. So what do we need to Something Wicked Comes to Station Street is this weekend.
Yes.
There's a ton of events. We've got 3 pages worth of Halloween events
In
and tomorrow's Chattanooga Now.
Grab it in the paper, or you can go to Facebook and type in Chattanooga Now. I visited Audubon Acres of Darkness yesterday, and it was really fun. It was really cool. I was impressed. I'd never been out there, so that's something to do. Yeah, Friday and Saturday that's going on too, and keep watching out your iTunes for Ron Moore.
Railroad.
Okay, Railroad.
Hole in My Soul is coming soon.
Hole in My Soul. Okay,
thank y'all
Write
both
it down.
so much.
I want to give a couple of shout outs before I
Yep.
go. My job, I work out at Resource MFG out at Volkswagen, and I told them I was coming on here, and they have no idea that I write music. So when I told them, they were so shocked. So I want to give a shout out to Jenny Holder, my boss, Cheryl McNabb, my coworker, Dawn, which is Jenny's boss. And if anybody's looking for a job, Resource MFG is hiring.
Cool.
Come see us. But I want to give a shout out to my mom too. My mom, she's always been in my corner. She's stood by me through everything I've been through, from being crazy, as Ralph knows, to me getting my life straight. You know, I was a deacon for 8 years in the church, so you know, she's been behind me through everything. You know, a shout out to my little girls, Riley, Jemiah, Taja, Rashawn.
Oh, don't forget we got one on the way.
Yeah, and I do have one on the way.
Wow, you have a lot going on.
Rain Moore will be here soon.
Oh, wow.
3 weeks.
Yes.
Whoa,
from today.
Congratulations.
And to my pimp tight crew, Brun, Barry, Mark, love y'all.
All right. Cool.
Jimmy Holloway said he was proud of you.
Appreciate you, Jimmy. Thanks for watching, bro.
Well, I told you this would be fun.
Yeah, thank you
fun.
so much.
What do we got to think of something next week?
Barry's in charge of all the music,
Ralph,
right?
thank you so much.
He does a great job.
It was nice. I had heard about up here.
What?
Left her hanging. Left her hanging.
Y'all will have to invite me back so I can do some more tracks for y'all, because this is just the beginning.
When you get it done, come on back. This was fun.
Sir.
That was fun. Yes.
www.ralphjamesmusic.com. Right now, available test drive, a jazz album, and first use a gospel instrumental album.
www.ralphjamesmusic.com. Okay.
Cool.
Got it.